Hello, I welcome you to session number 1 on the introduction and implementation of the pilot project. During the next 20 minutes, I will introduce the best practice in community engagement under this pilot project and provide practical, systemic advice usable by those who are either new to community engagement or those with more experience. During this module, you will learn what is a community engagement, what types of community groups might be involved in this pilot project, what are the benefits of community engagement and community engagement steps? In this project, community is a broad term that refers to groups of people living in the same location where the pilot is implemented, having shared interests or otherwise holding similar identity or characteristics. Examples of community members include households, workers, businesses, community leaders, and members of interest or citizen groups. It also encompasses vulnerable groups. The whole of this project is about the communities. Communities play a central role during the planning and implementation of cleanup works. An awareness-raising campaign targets to educate communities on safe waste management. Waste bank concepts aim to benefit the communities by generating income, waste minimization, and cleaner neighborhoods. While there are almost as many definitions as people are trying to define it, in its simplest terms, community engagement seeks to engage the community better to achieve long-term and sustainable outcomes, processes, relationships, decision-making, or implementation. When Benadi Regional Administration adequately resource community engagement, they will give communities a voice in this project, and this will help to deliver services valued by the community, attain and sustain support from community that is required to make the project successful and sustainable, manage expectations so they are realistic and achievable, manage risks and mitigate the potential for disagreements, and reduce the prospect of delay or disruption. Engagement processes allow us to foresee and resolve potential obstacles before crucial project decisions are made. For example, community experts or local authorities can mitigate risk by disseminating project information, learning about potential community issues, and establishing a dialogue with the community. Community engagement can prevent delays and avoid unforeseen costs in the implementation phase. Good engagement can help provide nearby communities with a voice in the process. To be successful, community engagement must encompass strategies and processes that are sensitive to the community context in which it occurs. There are 6 common steps in community engagement that should fit most circumstances and components of this pilot project. The 6 steps provide a starting point to community engagement. Step number 1. Define the purpose of engagement. Step number 2. Decide which community groups to engage. Step number 3. Select methods for engaging communities. Step number 4. Involve mass media. Step number 5. Issues tracking and complaints management. And step number 6. Reporting and monitoring. Let's give each step a bit more clarity. Step number 1. Define the purpose of engagement. We know that the objectives drive the purpose of engagement. The objectives can be to provide the communities with the balanced and objective information to assist them in understanding why a pilot project is being proposed, what community issues it will address, and potential benefits. This type of engagement may be considered during the pilot project cleanup component and initial awareness-raising campaign. Another objective is to work directly with the communities to identify the location of the illegal dump sites, investigate waste management issues, communities' concerns, and aspirations which are consistently understood and considered in the project planning and implementation process. Step number 2. Decide which community groups to engage. Benadi Regional Administration, in consultation with the District Advisory Group, needs to create a list of whom to engage with all the community citizens, groups and organizations that would have interest in the pilot project or have a certain level of influence over the success of the pilot project. The community groups that are suitable for engagement are the special interest and civil society organizations. For example, organizations representing disabled people, local universities, youth groups, non-governmental organizations, women groups, local women shelter network, and other women groups. Women groups can be engaged in cleanup works and waste bank programs. Education and awareness raising campaign shall ensure at least 40% participation of women. Business development groups such as regional and district business councils, local chamber of commerce, women's chamber of commerce, youth business support associations. There are several areas where the businesses can support the project. For example, they can assist in disseminating information through the educative posters and informative signs that might be set up on the walls or nearby areas. Usually people, when they see the social posters and prohibition signs, they do not want to litter trash. Secondly, the business can support or directly engage with the waste bank program development. You will learn more about this in other videos. Local citizens and users, such as homeowners, informal illegal settlements, local business owners. Community leaders, tribal ethnic leaders, elders and other respected people in the community, youth leaders, and women group leaders. Social service providers. Health and service providers. This group of community representatives can provide valuable input into awareness-raising program. For example, patients waiting for healthcare providers usually look at posters on the walls, read magazines, or look through the brochures. This is a good opportunity to include the topics related to waste management, linking proper waste management and environmental and health benefits. Schools. Teachers are very influential on the students and can play an important role in the awareness-raising program and better solid waste management promotion. Communication providers and children's organizations are also part of the social service providers. Step number 3. Select methods for engaging communities. The local governments can use different techniques and tools to engage the community, and we will discuss only those that are most relevant and feasible to this pilot project. One of the methods is direct meetings with specific community groups, citizens, or organizations. These are suitable for engaging a particular community group, citizen, or organization to discuss relevant issues. General community meetings. This is one of the most common forms of community engagement. The meeting size can range from a few dozen to over 100 community citizens. These meetings are an opportunity to talk directly with community citizens and determine what types of services and infrastructure they need. The meetings are typically held in community offices or central community area. When you organize a meeting with 3 to 6 participants, almost everyone will speak. If you invite 7 to 10 people, almost everyone will speak too. But if you hold the meeting with 15, 30 people, only 3, 5 dominant people will speak. This must be considered when planning for general community meetings. One-on-one meetings with key community groups, citizens, or organizations is an essential engagement tool, as individual communities, citizens, groups, and organizations appreciate the personal contact. However, it is not viewed as transparent by community in general. People may wonder what specific agreements they have made behind closed doors. Surveys and interviews. Surveys and questionnaires are used to determine the opinions and views of individual community groups, citizens, or organizations. Surveys may be carried out in person, can be mailed out to individual households, businesses, or organizations, or by using electronic surveys via websites, cell phones, or other social media. They involve a standard set of questions and they are asked to cross-sections of the community. Step number 4. Involve mass media. It is essential and initial phase of the pilot project. BRA may consider to spread the information on the proposed pilot project activities, including cleanup works or meetings, through local TV news and radio. In addition, it may consider publishing the information on its website and social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, and other means. Step number 5. Issues tracking and complaints management. Documenting the issues, concerns, and questions can be done in various formats, ranging from simple spreadsheets to more complex solutions. It can be integrated into the project's monitoring and reporting system. BRA, Benadi Regional Administration, needs to explain the purpose of the complaint management procedure and provide information about the complaints management procedures. The best way to do this is to prepare handouts that summarize the complaints management procedure and make prints visible during the cleanup work, community meetings, or in newsletters, brochures, and posters. The objectives are of the complaint management mechanism. First is to establish a mechanism for responding to complaints in an understanding, transparent, and culturally appropriate way, to develop an easy access, no cost, and efficient complaint procedure for the project local population involved and impacted, implement effective dialogue and open lines of communication with the public, help to prevent unrealistic expectations and negative perceptions from the local population towards the project, establish a system of investigation, response, and quick complaint resolution, reduce the number of local population's complaints regarding the project gradually, and improve the project's social performance through the analysis of complaints. Step number 6. Reporting and monitoring. Reporting and monitoring are critical to building trust and support. Accurately recording community feedback and sharing it across internal and external stakeholders for planning and implementation is crucial because engagement occurs. More details on the reporting and monitoring are also available, and you can find them on our YouTube channel. This pilot project was prepared under Somalia Urban Resilience Project Phase 2 framework and used the same approach to gender mainstreaming. Gender-based violence, to avoid the risk of stigmatization, mental, psychological harm, and potential reprisal, the pilot project shall have a sensitive approach to gender-based violence-related cases. When such a case is reported, it should immediately be referred to the appropriate service providers, such as medical and psychological support, emergency accommodation, and other necessary services. Thank you for watching this video, and we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and enjoy a variety of other videos related to pilot project implementation.